Ever wondered what's on the menu when adventurous food lovers in Japan say, "I'll try anything once"? Hold on to your chopsticks, because today we're diving deep into the world of Japan's most extreme delicacies. From dancing seafood to parts of animals you never thought could end up on a plate. This culinary journey isn't for the faint of heart. But before you click away, let me tell you, this isn't just about shock value. It's about understanding a culture where nothing goes to waste, and where tradition meets innovation in the most unexpected ways. Gross. Who would eat that? I hear you thinking. But remember when sushi was weird in the West? Now it's as common as pizza. What's strange in one culture is often everyday food in another. These dishes, using every part of an animal, might just show us a path to more sustainable eating. Let's start our journey at Gibier Kishiya, where one of Japan's most notorious delicacies awaits, the braised black bear paw. Now, before you imagine a grisly situation, consider this. In many rural Japanese communities, bear hunting has been a tradition for centuries, and using every part of the animal shows respect for the creature's sacrifice. The preparation is an art form. The paw is slowly braised until it reaches a texture that's simultaneously gelatinous and tender. But here's what'll really make you pause. Many chefs consider this dish the ultimate test of their culinary skills. Why? Because transforming something so tough into something delectable requires masterful technique. Speaking of masterful techniques, have you ever wondered what goes through a chef's mind when preparing something as unique as deer brain? It's like nature's custard, creamy, buttery, and surprisingly mild. But here's the kicker. This dish represents a fascinating paradox in Japanese cuisine. While Japan is famous for sushi and ramen, these more unusual dishes reveal a hidden side of its culinary landscape. Think about it. How many other cultures can seamlessly blend such extreme ingredients with elegant presentation? Let me share something interesting about the preparation process that might surprise you. Before cooking, the brain is carefully cleaned and soaked in cold water to remove any impurities. Then it's gently poached at a precise temperature to achieve that perfect custard-like consistency. The chef's skill lies not just in the cooking, but in the precise timing and temperature control. Too hot and the delicate texture is ruined. Too cool, and you risk safety issues. Some chefs even add a subtle dash of sake during cooking to enhance the natural flavors. It's these little details that transform something unusual into a gourmet experience. Did you know that deer brain has been part of traditional medicine in many Asian cultures? While we're focusing on its culinary aspects today, it's fascinating how food and medicine often intersect in traditional societies. If you're finding this fascinating, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. What's the most unusual food you've ever tried? Now, hold on to your seats, because we're heading to Rice and Circus Takadanobaba, where things get even more interesting. Ever heard of boiled horse penis? Yes, you heard that right. Before you close this video faster than a wasabi burned mouth, consider this. In a world where we're talking more and more about sustainable eating and reducing food waste, dishes like this represent a philosophy of utilizing everything available. The preparation is surprisingly sophisticated. It's sliced thin, boiled to the perfect consistency, and served with dipping sauces that would make any food critic raise an eyebrow in appreciation. But wait, there's more. Have you ever looked at a crow and thought, dinner? At Rice and Circus, they serve roasted whole crow, and it's not just for shock value. The meat has a rich, smoky flavor that might surprise you. Think about this. In a world where we're running out of traditional protein sources, could these alternative meats be part of the solution? Plus, I have to say, watching someone tackle this dish is quite the crow-dever. See what I did there? If you're still with me, you're officially part of the Culinary Brave Hearts Club. Smash that subscribe button to join our community of food adventurers. Let's talk about the wild boar testicle. Yes, you read that correctly. Before you squirm in your seat, consider that this dish represents something larger than just shock value. It's about honoring the hunting traditions of rural Japan and making use of every part of the animal. The preparation might surprise you. It's actually quite sophisticated, with a texture that's creamy on the inside and slightly firm on the outside. Who knew? And here's something fascinating about wild boar that we haven't covered yet. Did you know that these animals are actually considered agricultural pests in many parts of Japan? That's right, hunting them isn't just about cuisine, it's also about protecting local farmers' crops. The testicles, while certainly an unusual cut, are particularly prized for their unique texture combination. Japanese chefs have mastered the art of preparing them to achieve that perfect contrast between the outer and inner textures. Some even say it's an acquired taste that grows on you, though I'll leave that for you to decide. Let's take a quick detour to address something many of you might be wondering. How do these restaurants source such unusual ingredients? Well, Japan has some of the strictest food safety regulations in the world. These establishments work closely with licensed hunters and suppliers who follow specific guidelines for capturing, processing, and transporting these unique ingredients. It's not just about serving unusual food, it's about doing it safely and responsibly. Speaking of responsible sourcing, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Japanese food culture, make sure to check out our playlist on sustainable food practices around the world. Here's something that might surprise you. Many of these dishes were born out of necessity during harder times in Japanese history. When resources were scarce, people learned to make use of every part of an animal they hunted. What started as survival gradually evolved into culinary artistry. It's a beautiful example of how necessity truly is the mother of invention, or in this case, delicious innovation. Now, for our grand finale, the live lobster and dancing squid sashimi at fishing restaurant Zaoyo. This dish literally brings new meaning to fresh food. The squid tentacles can still move due to nerve reactions, creating quite the spectacle. But beyond the dramatic presentation, this dish embodies a core principle of Japanese cuisine, the celebration of an ingredient's natural essence. Is it extreme? Perhaps, but it's also a powerful reminder of the connection between our food and its source. Here's something that might blow your mind about the dancing squid phenomenon. The movement you see isn't just random twitching. When soy sauce is poured over the fresh squid, the sodium chloride in the sauce triggers the still viable neurons in the muscle tissue, causing coordinated muscle contractions. It's literally a dance of chemistry and biology right on your plate. The restaurant's chefs have perfected the timing of this presentation. Too fresh, and the movements might be too vigorous. Too late, and you'll miss the show entirely. But there's more to this dish than just theatrics. The lobster preparation involves a traditional Japanese technique called ikejime, a humane method that preserves the quality of the meat while ensuring the quickest possible dispatch. This attention to detail is why Japanese seafood preparations are renowned worldwide. The chefs at Zawo take this a step further by allowing guests to catch their own lobsters from the restaurant's tanks, creating an immersive experience that connects diners with their food in a way few other restaurants can match. As we wrap up our journey through these extraordinary dishes, remember, what seems extreme to one person might be another's comfort food. These dishes aren't just about pushing boundaries, they're about tradition, respect for ingredients, and the endless creativity of human cuisine. Whether you're ready to try them or just enjoy learning about them, they're a fascinating window into how different cultures approach food and waste nothing. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell to join us on more culinary adventures. Share this video with your foodie friends and let me know in the comments. Which of these dishes would you be brave enough to try? Until next time, keep your mind open and your chopsticks ready. Sayonara, food adventurers!